Welcome to LU Life Church, your global spiritual community portal, Life Transformational Soul Clinic, where all things is possible. All life matters. You matter. If you're here for the first time, welcome. I'm the Reverend Dr Dawnecia Palmer. Today, our title is The God Within. It is all inside of you. Well, I usually like to start the segment by inviting us to take a deep, grateful breath. And the reason I do this, it's not just ritual. It's really important, I feel, that we do this not just when we listen to the segments, but each day that we awake, or during the day, definitely before you go to sleep. Just to take a deep, grateful breath that we are here. Because you can't take a deep, grateful breath at any other time than being in the present moment. And to be grateful that I get to be here. Last few days, last few weeks, it's just been funerals nonstop. And so I realized the value of the breath in that moment. So I'm inviting you to take a deep, grateful breath that we are here. And that in that gratitude, I'm going to ask you to hold it for the count of 4. As you hold the breath for the count of 4, think about all the other breaths you've had to this moment. Last night I was privileged to go to a 60th birthday. I was asked to say something. And I was bringing to remembrance of everyone there, even to myself, but in particular to the person whose 60th birthday it was, that by taking 23,040 breaths each day, she was at that day becoming a millionaire, nearly 500 times a millionaire in breath. I don't know how old you are, but if you're 60, you're very near to the point of having taken, or being given 500 million breaths. That's a lot of breath. And so this breath is part of that breath that will be counted. And so let us be grateful in this moment on the breath we've taken, for all the breaths we've had, and for this breath, and for all the other breath that we will have that gives us life. Are we ready? Let's take a deep, grateful breath. Hold it with gratitude and let go. We're going to do something unusual. We're going to take a deep breath, but this time not just selfishly for ourselves, for all our friends, for all our loved ones, whether they're here or not, for all the breaths that make us and give us life. Life that we have experienced in another person. Perhaps they're not with us now, but they were with us, and it was because they were breathing that we had the delight of having shared their breath. And so let us take this deep breath. And now, with a sense of gratitude, let's hold it until we feel it from our top of our head to the sole of our feet, vibrating through our body, a deep, grateful breath. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go deep. And let go. Wonderful. So many might have switched off, but I'm telling you, this practice will reset your whole inner being. It will give you just a sense of being gratitude, of being grateful for life. And being grateful for life, it sets you up, it sets your day, it sets how you see things, it sets how you feel things, it sets how you behave, it sets how you see the other person, it sets your outlook on life, on the future. So many people I talk to, they say they have a dismal look on the future. A dismal look. When I say dismal, I mean it's like, oh my gosh, it's like this world is in a terrible state. Oh, and it's just doom and gloom. But when you are grateful for the breath that you breathe, it's you're just so grateful to be alive. And then that matters what you think. It matters what you do. It matters what you feel. You haven't got time to be feeling anger, right? You haven't got time to feel superior than another. That's not your business. When you're in this moment, breath of gratitude, you are just so grateful for the breath that what you do is quality. because you realize that, oh my God, if my mom, for instance, could be given another, you know, 23,040 breaths, another day, how grateful I would have been. But yes, she's passed, you know. If she was given another 2 million breaths, you know, and so on and so on. So we are become very grateful on the breath. And why am I going on this? I didn't set out to go on this. And as you know, these segments, today I didn't even jot down any note at all. I am speaking to you completely believing that you're here because life wants you to hear something. This is LU Life Church, Life University, meaning, you know, the whole universe of life is present and wants to share something with us. And something it wanted to share today, to start this segment, was how important our breath is. And you know, even after I shared about how important the breath is, sometimes people go away and they talk about everything else and they forget. I'm not saying you have to be constantly counting on your calculator, you know. I'm taking one breath, I'm taking another breath, I'm taking no. But just be very, very aware that the person you say you love, be it your child, be it your husband or your spouse, be it your friend, it's because they're breathing. Okay? Just wake up to that fact. The only reason that we value them is because they're breathing. And when they pass, we are grateful, we are mourning them because they had lived, because they had breath in them. So those that we love and have now, let us treasure every breath that they take. It is important. It is wonderful. 23,040 breaths we get to take every single day. And you're taking that breath right now. And so I'm laboring this, that we become very grateful because things are happening. Yes, things are happening in the world that we don't like. We're all praying for a peaceful and a more loving, a more thoughtful, a more considerate world, to our planet, to the ecosystem, to the earth, and we are crying out about that. When the person that is wishing these things is not grateful about the very breath that they're breathing, how can we be aware of things outside ourselves and make a difference to things outside ourselves when we are not even the least, we call it the least, but it's the most important, of course, being aware of the breath that we breathe and being grateful for it. Now, when we're being grateful for a breath, we think about the source of the breath. That's how we know that we're aware of the breath, because we then become aware of the source of our breath. We talk about, I'll give you an example, a climber that is climbing, Mount Everest. Just call it Mount Everest. What a big achievement that would be for the person to climb Mount Everest. Do you think that if the person doesn't have breath in them, they're going to climb Mount Everest? No. Do you think they're going to climb it and get back down? No. What do we call it to a person who climbed Mount Everest and never come back? We call them a person without breath. And yet, even the very persons that have climbed Mount Everest or call it whatever, many of them have gone and come back and has never thought about the amount of breath it took to take them up, take them back. The amount of breath they lived doing the exercise that they did. Every person that is exercising, without the energy that is on your breath, you wouldn't even be able to get those muscles and to get the strength. So I am laboring this point today. I did not set to do this. But it is very important because life is talking to somebody you might not see tomorrow. Right? This might be, you never get a chance to hear this message again. You might live another 20 or 40 or 50 years. But the fact is that you might never hear this message again of life itself saying to you, be grateful for me. that I am me, the breath that you breathe. And do you know why most people are not aware of the breath they breathe? Because they're not aware of the God within. The God within lives on each breath that we take, or is the very breath that we take. And so we take it for granted. And so people are praying outside. They go to a chapel. They go to a mosque. They go to a temple. They go to church. They go into a tent, in a house, in a field, wherever. And they say, I'll do my prayers to a God that's somewhere outside of themselves. Oh, yes, the God way up there, can't be reached. Now, that type of separation is the biggest malfunction, the greatest, most destructive malfunction for the human race. Because a person who is serving and depending on something that's outside of themselves, which we call God, we're going to call God. Yeah, I normally say life. Today I'll say God. So a person who's living from a source that is way somewhere, I mean, up in this, it's not in the sky because you're looking not seeing the God in the sky. It's beyond this place called heaven, called the kingdom, is over there. It's way out. It's out. It's not within. Right? But we expect to do good. We expect to function when the good is somewhere else. That does not make sense. So there's a malfunction. And so we have this topsy-turvy of feeling good today, not feeling so good, the next day. Making mistakes, thinking that we are better. Hello, we are better than somebody else. And all of these things, all these competitions and all of this is to achieve and show that we are better than somebody else. Never to make ourselves better, because the only way we can make ourselves better is by being better than somebody else. Come on, please. Don't say it's not true. The only reason you might get the job is because you're better for it than somebody else, right? So yes, you might say, well, what's wrong with that? I'm just saying the fact. But the fact is that we have forgotten that the good God within is the source of all goodness within every person, not outside of themselves. And the reason we have this competition and always striving and feeling that it's the achievement that gives us a sense of worth and make us a somebody is because we are always having to achieve something outside of ourselves. But when we have and know that the good, when we have the awareness of the God within on each breath that we breathe, oh my goodness. Now, where am I going with this? If God is within, and God is always in heaven, where is heaven? Is heaven out there? No. Because if God and heaven it cannot be separated, and God is within, then all that we seek, the peace in this world, which is in heaven, right? I hear it so clearly, and the most place you hear it is at funerals, when the person is no longer breathing. We never told them while they live that, look, that breath that is breathing you is actually God. Yes, it's actually God breathing you, because there is no life outside of God. Life is God. We call life God, basically. It's not, God is not it. God, the life that lives you is the life of God, right? So when I say the God within, we're talking about the goodness. And when you achieve something that's magnificent and that's excellent and that's good and beneficial, we say it's good. And we say God is good. So it's good, it's good to put a name to it, God, if that's what you mean. But if when you say God is something that's way out there, it just does not make sense. We cannot, we'll always be trying to compete. And we'll always be trying to be better than somebody else, just so that we can feel good. When the good is already in us, and the way that the good is in us is because the good is the God within us. Yes, the God principle within us. is on the breath that we breathe. And when we become aware of that, oh my goodness, do you know what happens to us? We become grateful people. We become people of appreciation. We appreciate the next person as we do ourselves. We appreciate ourselves as we does the next person. We appreciate our country as we does the next country. We don't see a next countryman as less, you know, and look for the faults, because that country is also looking for the fault in us, because they've gone way off the chain, go way beyond themselves, not looking at the life that lives them as the life of God. Now, when you begin to really appreciate the breath, all right, you appreciate that what you do. And oh, sorry, I must say this. I must say this. Give you this. It's a little secret, okay? But now it's no longer a secret because this is going on YouTube. So anything goes on YouTube is not really a secret, is it? So goodness, right, or God, right, can never be punished. And listen, if the breath in you is the life of God, the life of God is good and is goodness. That goodness can never be punished. The only reason or time when a person is punished, or where there is destruction or sickness or disease or harm or destruction comes, is when there isn't an awareness of the goodness within. You know, all the stuff that we are doing to in the earth, all the things, all the sorry, not the goodness, the badness that we're doing to the earth by, to the ecosystem, destroying it by with the rubbish and the smoke and all of those things, the burn and the fossil fuel and all of that's going on. All the things that we are doing to destroy the earth by not being aware of the breath. Because once you're aware of the breath and whose the breath is, and what the source of the breath is, then you realize that there is goodness. Then we cease to do actions that are not in sync with the breath that is good, that is God within. And when we begin to live from this source, I know it's so technical, and nobody wants to be technical. They just want to get on with it. I was talking, I think, on my last video about the guy who put the makeup on film stars and they look so beautiful. And he was saying, oh, no, no, no. I put their makeup on, but I see what's inside. I mean, and that ain't pretty. And nobody wants to really do that. Everybody have an intention to feel good. Don't you? Don't you? I do. Everybody wants to feel good. Even the people that's, committed murder. It makes them feel good with their pals, But that comes with a consequence. And what's the consequence? Of punishment. If we go out to war to say we're going to kill somebody, I don't really know even why we cry for people who we send to war, because we are sending them to kill somebody else. And then somebody else's child, be it whatever age he is or her, they're going to cry and we're going to cry. But if good is in the heart, and so I know what you're saying, well, we have to go and fight the war. We have to do so and so because they're going to damage us. But if they was thinking good, being aware of their breath, and you say we'll never have a world like that. So that is why this earth is going to destroy itself. I notice what you're saying. But if everybody thinks that way, what good is it? Can you see we're coming back to the good? What good is it? You say, well, that's hairy. What if somebody said it's like airy fairy? But if everyone, and it starts with you, and that is the thing. We make excuses. We say, well, so-and-so isn't thinking that. And the so-and-so isn't thinking that, is thinking of that, the same thing about us. What if it starts with us? What if it starts today by going within, being appreciative of our breath and our life, not blaming ourselves, not living on our regrets, but going forward with hope. From this day on, I'm just going to try to be really grateful for the breath that I am. I'm going to be grateful for the breath that is my children. I'm going to be grateful for the breath that is my friend. I'm going to be grateful for the breath that is my spouse. I'm going to be grateful for the breath that is my employer. I'm going to be grateful for the breath that reads the news. I'm going to be grateful for the breath that drives the bus. I'm going to be grateful for the breath of that person that crosses my path. that I don't, doing something I don't like, I'm going to be grateful for the breath. Then the earth becomes filled. Oh my goodness. It says, there was a scripture that says the earth is filled with the glory of the Lord. That's how we fill the earth with goodness, by thinking good, by being aware. We can't think good, you know. We don't feed our thoughts with good when we are not living in the present moment, in that awareness. And what are you aware of in that moment? Just people say, they're practicing consciousness and they're being aware and they're being aware of the breath. That's what it is. When they come and they're aware of the breath, oh, don't they feel calm? They feel such calm. They're going into meditation to feel calm on the breath. And where is the breath? The breath is not outside, the breath is on the inside. And it is that breath that gives us life. And so today, this message comes really just to bring us back to the source of life, to the source of your energy. To say, just be grateful at the source of your energy. And we can do that by the good thoughts we think. The good thoughts you think will allow you to do good deeds. The good deeds you do will never ever get you to feel bad or cause you to be punished. Nobody punishes and sends a person to prison for being good. Nobody kills, nobody good that's thinking good kills another person. And so sometimes people that are good get killed. Yes. And you say, but how can you say there is no punishment? But the person that's doing it was not thinking good. They wasn't even thinking about their breath in that time. Because if they were thinking about their breath in that moment, they would have known that God is living on that breath within, and therefore only good could come out. Only goodness could come out. Can you see where I'm going with this? Oh, dear listeners, as I come to a close, oh my goodness, this has gone on really long. Please, going forward, send this to a lot of people so that we are filling the earth with people trying to be aware of their breath, trying to be aware that on their breath is the God that lives them at the core of their being. And at the core of their being is the goodness, is the peace they're looking for in their marriages, in their relationships with their children, even children. Children is looking for friendships. They're looking for, feeling good. They're looking for pleasure. And they're looking for it where? Outside. They're looking for it in games. They're looking for it in adventures outside. How many young people is even thinking about their breath? They're not thinking about breath. If they're 10, they're just looking for their 11th birthday, and the presents they're going to get or what they're going to do. If they're 18, they're looking at, oh, I'm going to be nearly 20. I'm going to get a job. This is what I'm going to do. They've never been told to think about their breath. And the importance of their breath is that goodness might come out through them, that they may manifest goodness. Goodness might come out as passing your exams. Goodness might come out as achieving something wonderful. Goodness might come out as being a well-behaved person, a well-spoken person, not a person who swears and just full of hate and racism and all of that type of things. No. Only people, only persons that are not conscious of the breath as the breath of God, as the life of God, as the goodness and the source, will ever do the things that we call as damaging our world. And we help to damage our world when we see our world continue as a damaged world. But we help to build a better, safer, more inclusive, loving, peaceful, kind, enough world that there is enough for everybody, a beautiful world. And how do we help to build that? By seeing it so. And how do we see it so? By seeing that the source is within me, the source is within you, the source is within everybody. Send this on to somebody. Give them a chance, perhaps for the first time, to consider the source of their life. Come with me and go within. It is all inside of you. The good we seek, the God we seek, is within. Finish off with the scripture. Come, come within and find rest. Rest for your soul, rest for your mind. Maybe you've been troubled. I just sense, I was just about to close and I sense, and now this is going to sound silly because you're going to say, look how many people, I've heard people say this before, and look how many people might be listening to this, not just now, but in the future. How do you say you just feel something? Yeah, well, I felt it, so I'm saying it. That there's somebody who's going through, a problem in your mind. No, you're not mentally ill, but there's just, and maybe there's more than one. But when there is more than one, each individual is one. So there's somebody. It might be you, and it is you. If you're listening and it connects, it's you. And there is it's just troubling you. Something has happened. For somebody, something has happened to cause you to be worried. Whether it is you're worried about something that's going to happen, but the worry has come because of something, right? Come within. Go within and see the God. You have to go though. That's why you don't see the D. The D is where you do something by going within and see there God. How do I see? Think about the breath. Feel the breath. Know without a doubt that the breath that leaves you, the energy that you are now experiencing is the very life of God. And in the very life of God, because God only lives in heaven, as you say, the very source, you might not want to call God, but life, say life, in that energy is all the goodness, is the solution, is the answer, is the health, is the wealth, is the love. You've been crushed, I know. You've been disappointed, so really disappointed. The news is not something you wanted. And right now, it's too much for you to cope with. But right there in you is the goodness. Within, it's there, within. It wants to come out in your feelings, but you have to think it. You have to think on that breath that the good or the God in you is working for your good. That's why it's working for your good. And as you inhale that truth, let it resonate throughout your whole being, throughout your lymphic system. Let it resonate through your bones, through your marrow, through your sinew. Let it go through into your medulla, into your pineal glands. Let it go through your whole being. And let it emanate around you, like an aura around you. Let it be a magnet that attracts the good outside, but it has to start within your awareness of the good within. And from this place, find peace. I pray blessing for your day, blessing for your week ahead, and blessing for your life. Thank you for listening in today. God bless you.